Hey guys, what's going on? It's Russell again. Thought I'd do a quick video on a new service that my friend Lance and I have started. It's called THETATRADERZ.com. I'll put a link in the description below. We got this started because it's one of the best strategies out there if you have a small account and you want to make some passive income. So you can just like chill and just watch the premiums come in passively every week. So here's a quote from my friend Raj. He says, "I enjoy selling hope to others. This hope often depreciates and expires worthless every Friday." And it's a really good quote because what you find is that 80% of people that are buying options contracts, so calls or puts, if they hold them to expiration, they expire worthless and lose all their money. But the people who sold them that make the premium and they keep the premium. So Raj is a pretty funny guy. I did an interview with him recently. This is him. He's in the Facebook group. He also said this other thing, which he says, "I get enjoyment from ripping people off on the other side of the table or being the house," so selling options. So imagine you're a casino or insurance company. Insurance company is probably the easiest one. You charge somebody a premium when you sell them a contract, an insurance contract that says if you get ill, we will pay for it. But the thing is, the math has been worked out so that they always make the money, right? Over at least a decent sample size. They will always make that contract or premium that you pay them in order to try and protect yourself. So that's what he means about being the house. So selling options is basically the side that is going to win 95% of the time if you do it properly. So my friend Lance came up with this strategy, which is fantastic. It's one of the best option strategies out there. It wins 95% of the time. You win small amounts consistently without really doing much work because you're on the right side of the trade. This sounds too good to be true, right? But it is true, and most of the really good traders, people like David Jaffe who make lots and lots of money without too much effort, actually use this approach. So the idea is you sell these options contracts and then you sit back and you wait. And as you wait, the theta decay or the time decay reduces the value of the options until they expire worthless. And with this particular strategy, it takes 7 to 14 days for the cost of the option, even if the underlying stock price stays the same, to fall by 50%. So then you close out for a 50% gain without doing anything and you collect that premium. So this is a strategy that is a little different from most of them out there. Most of the strategies that do selling options focus on these huge stable stocks like Tesla, Microsoft, Netflix, these big expensive stocks. The problem with that is that you really need a lot of capital because what people are doing is selling cash secured puts. So you have to have the cash in your account. That if you get assigned on the contracts, you'll have to be able to afford to buy 100 shares of that stock at the very minimum, right? So if you sell one contract and the trade goes against you, your broker makes sure that you have 100 times the strike price in your account. So for something like, Tesla, say it's trading at $700 and somebody sells you the put, or you sell somebody the put for $600 as the strike price. You have to have $60,000 if you just do one options contract in your account, and most people can't really afford to do that, right? And it really just rules out a lot of people from learning this really awesome passive strategy. So this strategy that Lance uses is a little different. It uses high IV and smaller stocks with lower strike prices, which really frees up your buying power to just a few hundred or $1,000 or so. So you can do this strategy with as little as $5,000 in your account, which is really cool because it really opens the doors to learn at least about selling options, which is a really fantastic conservative strategy that's very low risk, and you get these small consistent gains. You get the premium up front as soon as you execute the trade, and if you do it right, you can make basically 95% wins. So think of it like this: somebody buys a put from you on a stock that's trading at $20, and they buy the put betting that this stock is going to go to $10 or below by a certain date. The chances of that are extremely low. They're betting that some catastrophic event is going to happen that's going to lower that stock price by more than 50%. And as long as you're correct and you don't think it's going to go below $10, then you keep the premium that they paid for that options contract. So what you do is you sell stuff that's far out of the money, and you do it with IV that's really, or volatility that's very high, so that they are basically paying a high premium to you for that contract. So if the stock price drops to $15, you make money. Even if it goes up, you make money, and even if it stays the same price, you make money, because time to gate is always working in your favor, and you nearly always make money with this strategy. It's not much money usually, but it's small, consistent, repetitive gains that compound really fast. So basically the goal for these alerts, which I'll show you in a minute, is about 4 or 5% a month. Sometimes do a lot better, but this is kind of the average that Lance has been, averaging this whole year, and I'll show you his whole thing in a minute. So if I show you this, you can use as little as $500 per position, which is highly, highly unusual. If you join THETATRADERZ, you get his whole strategy in a free ebook, and honestly, this is worth hundreds of dollars just by itself. But on top of that, Lance also offers one-on-one coaching completely for free. He's a teacher by trade. He's basically doing this in order to build an investment nest egg. He beats the S&P every single month, so it's much more lucrative than just, long-term investing or even dividends. So he provides one-on-one coaching. He's always active. He's really, really helpful. And like I said, he's actually a teacher, so he's really good at basically transferring knowledge to people. So, I'll show you his track record here. You can kind of see what to expect if you follow Lance. Here are the months. This is this year, and you can see that these are the monthly gains on his account. So 16% in January is just amazing for this strategy. Typically, selling options doesn't return 50% or 20% on your account. So you can see some of these are much more modest, to 6%, 4%. But it's pretty much passive, and you're going to win. So if you hate losing, if you hate having a 50-50 win rate with stocks, this is definitely a strategy you might want to consider learning from us. So here are some of the other things he's put in. He's put in every single trade. So these are the tickers. You probably recognize a lot of these. They're not Netflixes, they're cheaper stocks. So the strike prices are generally much cheaper. So here are some of the strike prices. And like I said, if you're just doing one contract, then you need to be able to secure it with 25 times 100 is $2,500 roughly. So you can see that some of these are really cheap. This one would only cost you $550. And 1,300, 2,100, 600. So you can take multiple positions. Typically with a $10,000 account, you would take 5 to 10 positions at any one time. And you're closing these things out when they fall by 50%, so you make 50% of your money. So it's really cool. If you're looking to start start learning a type of strategy like this, and you don't want to be risking lots of money, then I would suggest coming and joining THETATRADERZ. It's probably one of the best services I've ever been part of, and I think you can even just get some free stuff if you put your email address in here. Lance is sending out some tips, advice, and more information about the strategy before you join. So at the moment it's priced extremely reasonably. Other services like this that require you to have a lot more money in your account are charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month, because these strategies work. They're just something that people shy away from. Sometimes with their smaller accounts it's hard to make much money. Let me show you the Discord. So when you get in, you come into here. There's a general chat where Lance or THETATRADER is always active, and I'm in here too. We talk about all the different trades. But the coolest thing about this is the way the trades are sent out. So unlike a lot of Discords, there's no noise for the trade alerts. Lance is the only one that is sending out these trades. So you can see that every day, near the end of the day, he just gives you 2 very clear signals every single day. And you can basically pick and choose what you want to do. So because there's such a high win rate, you don't have to follow like every single trade like some strategies, especially with like day trade and penny stocks or whatever. With these option selling trades, you can basically just pick and choose which ones fit you, so you can go away and research, because there's no like desperate, try and get in as fast as possible. You can go away and you can research the stock, and you can look at the technicals and figure out if you think the chance of this falling is high or low, so you can do your own research. Lance does all the research in terms of the volatility and the delta and all that stuff. You can go and do your own research on the actual underlying stock a little bit more, and he makes it very clear that this is MRIN, CSP is cash secured put, it's what we primarily do, and this is the strike price. He makes it all very clear, buy to close, stock, delta, blah blah. So you can go through it. This takes a bit of, you get used to this, and then you can kind of follow these trades. He labels them with risk as well, so green is the lowest risk and red is the highest risk. So you can kind of go through and pick and choose. But 2 a day every day of the best ones that you can find is just fantastic. So you can tailor it to your buying power. Say you don't have much buying power left, you want to take this one, say you have $500 to get one contract. Of course you can do a lot more than one contract, but for small accounts people tend to be just trying to do 1 or 2 contracts at a time. So yeah, that's an overview of THETATRADERZ.com. I'm a co-founder in the service for full transparency, and it's something that I really believe in. I don't partner with people and things like this if they are not absolutely brilliant. So this is one of the best chat rooms for selling options that you'll find. It's definitely one of the lowest cost and the best one for small accounts. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Cheers.